to what's going on. So, just got back from the Peterbilt dealership, and I don't know what it is or why it is, what it is, but it is easier for me to get a brand new truck than it is to get a used truck. I don't know if that's because the used truck market is so hot right now, so the new dealership is like, hey, we got to compete with the used market. I don't know what it is, man, but it's like it's easier for me to get a new truck than it is for me to get a used truck. Now, I know some people gonna be like, hey, well, just do this, look here, look there, look there. Listen, I done looked at about 4 trucks that I done looked at, traveled to look at 4 trucks. And then when you get there, things is wrong with these used trucks. Now, I'm not jumping on the truck just because I get approved and be like, hey, okay, I'm this. No. You still got to do your due diligence. You still got to check out the truck. And just because you didn't checked out that truck, close that door. Just because you didn't checked out the truck and got approved for this used truck, it don't mean you just supposed to get it. Okay, especially when stuff go wrong with it. And then I didn't had asking the people, well, because the truck had like 539,000 miles on it. So I'm like, okay, so y'all did the overhead on the truck? Oh, no, we don't do the overheads. We don't do overheads here. I said, I thought y'all had a shop and y'all fix the truck here. Well, we do. So if you have a shop and you fix trucks here, why don't you do an overhead? That's like a basic maintenance. I ain't asking you to change out the engine. I'm just asking you, did you just do the overhead? Or when you ask for records, they don't have no records. I done spent over $250 on rig dig checking out these trucks just to get a history on the trucks and stuff. And all these trucks with issues, then they don't want to do certain things. But then they tell you, hey, okay, we'll let you take the truck to your mechanic to get it fixed, and then or to check it out. And then if they find anything, then we'll fix it in our shop. Oh, it's only gonna fix certain things in their shop. Some stuff they ain't gonna mess with. Or they gonna say, oh, that wasn't a diagnostics of it. We diagnosed it as this. And you like, I thought y'all check out these trucks. I thought y'all mechanic went through and did this and did it. Why is this like this? Or why that is like this? This don't look like it ever been touched before. And you just like, okay. And what they did was, oh yeah, we put it on the computer. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. My guy put it on his computer. He found the only thing they did was clear the clothes on it. So when you start it up, it makes it seem like it don't have any clothes. You don't have no check engine lights on. You don't have no warning lights on. You don't have none of that. All right. When he went through it, it shows that it has an issue, but the code just was basically, it was clear because the issue is still there, but it's not showing up on the thing. So now, okay, if you're one of the ones that's not going to pay that money for somebody to check it out, and you trying to get this truck and you trying to start it up and talking about you going to pre-trip the hell out the truck, that don't mean nothing. Okay, you need a mechanic to look at it. Pre-tripping just shows you basic stuff of a truck. It don't show you the inner workings of the truck and have things. So I'm like, okay, well, did you test the turbo to make sure it's operating at manufacturer specifications? No, we ain't test the turbo. Did you test the fuel pump to see if it's working like it's supposed to and pumping at the right pounds of pressure? No, we ain't test that. So what did you test? What did you do with the truck? You know, you can't even tell me if the turbo is working like it's supposed to be working. You can't tell me if the alternator is pumping out the right amount of ohms and everything. It's like, so what did you do? Now you keep spending money going to these places looking for 4-5 trucks. Nah, yeah, you can say that's the cost of doing business, but how many times you gonna keep going places and looking for stuff, spending $300 here, $400 here, $300 here, $400 here? Listen, I stopped Warner September the 6th. Okay, and on the 8th, I started my company. And from the 8th until now, it is Saturday the 19th now. I done spent over $5,000 getting my business started. Okay, that's how much I didn't spend. Over $5,000. It's like 5,200 bucks I didn't spend between getting licenses, getting it incorporated, uh, getting stuff for my office, getting the computer, my computer and stuff, getting that ready. They're getting the hard drive and stuff like that ready for it. Going back and forth to find these in places, doing these searches on these trucks, getting the mechanics and stuff to look at it, to go out there and look at the truck. Places that I couldn't go, I still paid a mechanic to go out there, look at it, and put it on the computer and give me what they think about it or what they think that it should happen. One of the trucks, yeah, the engine was good, but the back end was tore up. So the engine and transmission was fine, but the back end was messed up. And they was like, they're not gonna do nothing to the back end. I'm like, well, I'm not finna pay $40-something thousand for a truck that I know when I get the truck within the next 2-3 months, I got to spend another $2-3 thousand fixing it. I'm not trying to go that route. I'm really, y'all probably can do that. Y'all can be like, hey, go to the auction. Y'all can do all that kind of stuff and take those chances. And hey, that's y'all. That's y'all. To each his own. To each his own. Really, to each his own. You try to do stuff the cheap way, well, that's what's gonna happen. Okay, you try to do stuff cheap and try to save money here, well, you're gonna pay the cost. Okay, you got some people who get to use trucks. Like I was watching trucker Scooby Doo. He didn't had his Volvo for what 2 weeks now, and things like that, and he's experienced a breakdown right now. He got great attitudes about it, man. I followed this man for a long time, for some years, man. And you know, but that just goes to show you could have the experience, you could look at the truck, you could do all this stuff with the truck, but you don't know how that truck is going to be to after that truck start running from when you get it. And then you can experience breakdowns. You know, he trying to get his truck fixed before he lose these 2 good loads that he got. You know, so I mean, you see that a lot with a lot of people on YouTube that they didn't got a used truck and they did their due diligence on the truck and all the knowledge that they have in truck, and then the truck still mess up. So you could do all this, get a truck, and it still can mess up. Okay, but everybody just want to limit their chances of that happening from the get-go. And if I'm going to these places trying to get these here used trucks and then finding out that they're not even straight shooting with me on the truck and stuff, it's like, well, you know, if the salesman is just trying to sell the truck and he don't know what he's talking about. I had one like that. He didn't know what he was talking about, but when he found out I knew what I was talking about, he went to the guy that does all the computer stuff on the truck and started asking that guy the questions I asked him. Because excuse me, because then he was like, listen, I ain't gonna even front with you. I don't know. I said, well, thank you. I said, because I'd rather you say that you don't know and you gonna go get the answer than act like you know and gonna tell me something. Then I'm gonna look at you like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. So I can't trust you on nothing because now you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's wet, y'all. I didn't even make it inside of my house. I just made it into my garage. As soon as I made it in my garage, my daughter, she heard me, she come out. So I had to tell her to get back inside the house. So that's what's going on. So now it's the truck search that is going on. And I'm going to start all my other process next week as far as my business go. And it's like, it's the truck. It's the truck. If I'm going to go with my own authority, if I can't find a truck I want, my first truck, then I'm going with the second truck. If I'm going with the second truck going to be a new truck, which I don't want. I don't want, because that $3,000 a month payment, that's a lot. But like I said, I own all my stuff, and my living expenses is low with the exception of my house. It's not low because I got a brand new house, and you know it's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house and stuff. So it's a big house. So it's not like it's low, but what I'm saying is, the only thing I have is a house payment. So if you just look at my truck payment and my house payment and all my house bills and things like that, then that's about $5,000 a month just for a semi truck payment and my house payment and all that stuff that goes with it. No water, lights, cable, phone, internet, all that kind of good stuff. Car insurance it'll come up about $5,000, which ain't much because you can average about $5,000 a week. On a slow week, you could do it $4,000 a week. So that still gives you a lot more money, more than 3 times the amount of money than what I actually need to survive and live. So it's doable. It's doable. I'm weighing all the odds. This is just me now. This is just me. I ain't talking about y'all. This is a personal vlog of my life. I ain't making no suggestions for y'all for anything. Okay, this is just what I'm going through to get my business started and what's based for me. Running all the numbers was for my family and my family needs only. That's it. This is just a personal vlog of what I'm going through. Okay, that's it. I ain't trying to help nobody. I ain't trying to teach nobody. I ain't trying to educate nobody. I ain't trying to do none of that stuff now. But if you could learn from what I'm going through, the mistakes I had or my mates that I had, but I try not to make the mistakes. I try to do my research, as much research as possible before I do so. I really do. And my wife, she trying to talk to me about the benefits of a new truck, and you don't have to worry about breakdowns, towing. You got to worry about breakdowns and towing, but as far as paying for any of that stuff, you don't have none of that to worry about. And for the new truck, they was telling me for 4.5 years. All right, and a certain amount of miles too. So that's the other thing, because when you look at these warranties, it's like 4.5 years, 5 years, or 4 years, or this amount of miles. So when it comes down to the miles, it's like, okay, especially if you get one that's like 350,000 miles or something like that, or 400,000 miles. Okay, if I want this thing to last me 4 years without me making nothing, I have to monitor my miles. So you're trying to monitor your miles. Well, you don't want to be going a whole bunch of miles. You know what I'm saying? You probably want to do about 110,000 miles a year. Keep it like under 10,000 miles a month, which is 2,500 miles a week. So my budget is based off of 2,500 miles a week. Okay, that's my budget. It's based off of 2,500 miles a week. Make as much money as I can under 2,500 miles a week. 2,500 miles would be my limit. So I'm trying to keep it under $10,000 a month. That way you stay within your warranty for the whole time you have your truck. That's what it's going to be about. I ain't going to pinch pennies and try to go. So if it's 4.5 years, you can do 90. You can even go with probably 100,000 miles a year. But I ain't trying to do that much. I'm trying to run as little as possible, make the most money running as little as possible. So if I can keep it between $5,000 and $6,000 a week, $4,500 on the low end, which I should. I got 2 contracts. I got 2 contracts available for me that will pay me about $20,000 a month for the 2 contracts, and then I would have to use the spot market for a day or 2 out of the week to get me back and things like that. But the 2 contracts pay me about a little bit over 21,000 a month for the contracts. So I have those 2 contracts that are out there. I still have to use the spot market, but when I got 2 contracts going to pay me like about 21, a little bit over 21,000 a month, I can use the spot market. See what I'm saying? I can use the spot market. Plus, that's my $5,000 a week average as well. And yes, they do allow me to take time off. So if I need a time off or I want to go on a vacation, I just don't get that money for the week. That's one thing I was looking for under the contract, something that where if I go on vacation, I don't have to worry about fulfilling, that those loads for that week or for that time. They do allow that. I just don't get that money for the week with that. And if it's just a couple loads for that week, then it's prorated for the week. So That's the only reason why I would do my authority. But they'll still let me do it under somebody else's authority. I still have to pay that company if I sign on to that percentage, whatever it is. If it's 25%, 20%, 15%, 30%, whatever their percentage is, I still have to pay them, but I still can do that contract under somebody else's authority too. But that's why I can step out there off with my own authority, because I have a contract, 2 contracts for that I can get. Now that's because I know people that know people. Okay, I didn't do nothing special. I know people that decides on these contracts. And the people I know run their own departments and things like this. So I got them by somebody's doing somebody else a favor. It happened to be my family, so it's not like, hey, I got a friend. It's like, hey, my nephew got this kind of thing. And because my uncle stuff is a great worker, or my cousin is a great worker, I got this going on because of that particular stuff. So this not for everybody. This me, my own personal thing. Now, I always got to say that because I don't want y'all trying to. This ain't the trucking channel. I tell y'all this all the time. This is a personal vlog of my life, and this just the trucking part of it that I'm going through. Get my business and stuff started. All right, enough talking. I'll talk to y'all later. I got to spend some time with my little daughter.